Hello. Today's guest is a friend of mine and bass player on the LA gigging scene. His name is Nathan Atwater, and we met a few years ago playing in the pit orchestra for a production of Oklahoma. And we've played in a number of pit orchestras since and have had a good time hanging out talking about conspiracy theories and all sorts of things. And this conversation is no different. It jumps right in, and we start talking about Behringer equipment, and then we move to biblical conversation, and then it moves to the new AB5 law that passed in California and just goes all over the place. So if you're looking for pure music, this is not the conversation for you, but if you're looking for kind of a wild conversation that jumps all over the place, this is it. But first, remember to hit that like button, leave a comment if you have any thoughts, and subscribe to my channel. And if you like my content generally, please consider visiting my Patreon page. Welcome to Music in Mind with Anthony Caulkins.
Behringer, what do you think about Behringer, man?
They are better than they used to be. They used to suck, and now they're okay.
Yeah?
They're pretty inexpensive.
Because I feel like everything's manufactured in China, right? Even like higher level, like, name brand stuff, right? So what's the difference then? They just have a lower price point because they're basically a direct seller.
Yeah, maybe. They
started out in Europe, right?
They own Midas, or Midas owns them?
I thought they were all a conglomerate.
Maybe.
Because there's Behringer, like 2 or 3 other companies.
Yes.
They're all the same, and they all come out of the same factory in China.
Yep.
Have you seen that video on YouTube?
I haven't, but...
Dude, it's like people in clean suits, and just like rows and rows of people building pedals and mixers and microphones.
Wow.
And
I can imagine.
You know how they have those like manufacturing plants, right? The people just live there. It's that setup. I mean, that's what
for all the mixers and all the...
They make everything in house there.
Wow.
But here's what's crazy. I also found out this was like a JHS pedals.
Okay.
Okay. They actually were. He was saying a lot of the components that other companies use are made by Behringer.
That makes sense, I guess.
Right? So in my mind, I'm just like, well, why not just buy the Behringer?
Yeah.
Right? And it's crazy because like their effect pedals, they're like copies or clones of, right?
Yeah.
Of the name brand.
Right.
He's arguing the main difference is maybe because they're digital, maybe some of the hardware is slightly different in how they orientate the signal chain through it.
Okay.
But it's basically the same components, and they just put it in a cheaper plastic case, as opposed to like
Behringer
Boss.
does.
Yeah, as opposed to like Boss.
I don't really know anything about Behringer pedals. I've never even looked into them.
Dude.
I've used their mixers.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I was looking at their mixers too, because I was curious. Because
which ones?
It was like a 16-channel, like live mixer with some built-in digital effects. It had a USB port.
Yeah.
It's like $430.
Yeah.
Right. You compare that to the equivocal from like Yamaha or Mackie, you're looking more like $700 or $800.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I bet you theirs are still made in China.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah,
I don't
but
know
like
about Yamaha,
the Behringer X32 is like the workhorse, like 32 input, just for everything. Everybody uses it.
Everybody?
Kinda.
Your mom?
Yeah.
She mixes?
No. But yeah, the sound company that I do stuff for, they have like 100 of them.
You're still doing that?
Not anymore. Actually, the new law, AB5.
And that was that West Coast?
West Coast was the music or the musician company that they work with. So
right. So they subcontracted.
Of,
they contracted your company and they subcontracted you.
Something like that. I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So West Coast would get the gig, then they'd call your boys to do the sound, and then they'd call you to schlep the gear.
Probably. Yeah. That's probably how it works.
So you're not doing it anymore?
I don't think so, because they have to hire everybody's employees, and I was kind of like a sometimes person. So
I see.
It wouldn't really make sense for them to hire me.
Wow. Have you been losing other gigs for AB5?
I haven't lost anything yet.
I see.
I've only lost gigs because of my hand.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, that's an adventure, though.
Yeah.
Did you learn a lesson from it?
Don't break your hand.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe it was good.
I don't
like is it really bad?
Yeah, I mean, I can't play yet like I was able to play before. I'm like reteaching my hand how to play.
Do you think you'll be better then? Maybe you're a better student now.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's true. How I've been practicing and like really focusing on a lot of the stuff that I like skipped when I was 16. Like I just took out like my.
So is your
my
control even
book.
like what if you become more nimble and dexterous?
Maybe.
Because it's like what's that saying? If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Yeah, but sometimes
maybe pain, like it's like a refining process.
Yeah.
Do
you think that is always true?
No.
Like some pain is like it's telling you to stop.
But if you can endure pain, right?
Sure, but like if you break your leg,
yeah,
and like your bone is separated,
that's
your
awful.
body is telling you not to walk on it. Walking on it isn't going to do you any favors.
But if you did walk on it, everyone would be like, "Wow, that guy's baller. His bone's sticking out. He's still walking." Wouldn't you think that guy is like, he's like, that's a tough guy?
No, I would be like, that is an idiot.
What if there was a wild animal chasing him?
Well, then that's...
What if like I'm saying, just hypothetically.
Well, I'd
right?
be like, there's no way he's going to be able to outrun the wild animal. So pick a different thing to try.
Well, okay, this ain't a lion, but the lion has 2 broken legs, and you only have 1.
And you're and the lion
and you found a large stick, and you're able to like splint it. So you find this lion. He breaks one of your legs. You break 2 of his.
I mean,
find
first
a large
of all,
stick.
Wow, you broke 2 lions' legs.
Well, okay, look. If you're fighting a lion, you have to be pretty strong to have a chance.
Samson. In Judges.
Yes. Yeah.
Tears the lion apart with his hands, right?
That's right.
I just read it last night.
You did?
Yeah.
Are you studying?
Yeah. We, Megan and I got these, like, it's like an interesting translation of the Hebrew Bible.
An interesting? What does that mean?
I don't know. The guy claims that it preserves the verse structure of things better.
So is this like Kabbalah stuff?
The
Kabbalah, is that what it is? That's supposed to be like the, some people claim it's the religion that predates, like, Judaism.
No, I don't think it's like that. I think his idea is that a lot of the translations of the Old Testament ruin the verse structure, the fact that a lot of it was written in verse, and so a lot of the repetitive nature of things work better when it sort of comes off like a poem or like a song.
So there's no indentations for where there should be pauses? It's just one long sentence?
No. It's just the way that he forms the sentences are trying to preserve the poetic nature.
So you like that better?
I don't know.
Samson's an interesting character.
Yeah, I don't like him.
You don't like him? He's a hero.
Kinda.
He's portrayed as a hero.
He's an idiot.
Dude, Samson would totally walk on a broken leg with the bone sticking out.
What I love is that
he would do it and pick up a jawbone and smack a guy.
He did, yeah, right.
I mean, that's in there, dude.
I know, and he's not supposed to because it's unclean, and he's a Nazarene. Or a Nazarene.
Oh, because it was dead. Well, no. Well, that I think pertains more to him eating honey out of the dead. Wasn't that a lion carcass also?
Same lion.
The same lion that he ripped up?
Yep.
You're kidding me.
I'm not.
It's been a minute since I've read my Bible stories.
It's
I used
such
to know
a
them all
goofy
better.
story, and there's all these notes in the bottom of the kind of like kinky subtext of Delilah tying him up with all these various things.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I didn't either. But like the editor, the translator says like these are obvious like sexual. There's obvious like sexual subtext.
Well, I mean, the guy was obviously very visceral. I would want to say, right?
Yeah.
He's got this long hair. He's ripped.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if it says that. Did it say that anywhere in the story that he was ripped? Yeah, that he was just like buff.
No,
because he had supernatural strength.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say he was ripped.
No.
Like, what if he was kind of like flabby? Wouldn't that be kind of funny?
Well, aren't there some UFC fighters that are like that? They're kind of flabby, but
not anymore. I don't think anymore.
Maybe.
I think there used to be towards the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to like. Can you imagine if he had kind of like he was like rocking this awkward mullet, right? And he's got like a little bit of a tummy.
The braids and stuff.
He's got a little bit of a tummy. He's got a little tummy.
Well, he's just eating honey, just like Pooh Bear.
Dude, I never thought about that. What if he wasn't in shape? And maybe that's why everyone tripped more, because it would make more sense, right? If this guy's all, right?
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh yeah, he's gonna beat me up.
But they were kind of afraid of him. They were trying to figure out.
Yeah, because it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. He must have been flabby, Because if he was like Brock Lesnar or some guy like The Rock, then it'd be like, oh yeah, that guy could totally beat up 10 normal guys.
Yeah.
No problem.
10? It's a lot, but yeah.
Dude, come on, man. You get the adrenaline going. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah.
No? Well, I'm saying this. Like, if you took a professional MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. The big guys.
Yeah.
Kimbo Slice.
Okay.
Remember that guy?
No.
Okay, never mind. This takes someone Conor McGregor.
Uh-huh.
Do you think Conor McGregor could beat up 4 guys at a bar anywhere around here?
4?
Yeah.
Probably.
He's a small guy. He's shorter than us.
Uh-huh.
Right? So I'm saying you take a guy that weighs like 300 plus pounds, right? Is like, like 6'4", 6'5", just like... You don't think you can beat up 10 guys?
I don't think you can focus. I don't think your focus can be that wide
you only have
around.
to hit one at a time.
Yeah, but somebody's
1, 2, 3,
do
4,
something
5, 6,
that
7,
hurts
8,
you.
9, 10.
Why are they standing right there?
Because they're coming for it, man.
They're like all in line,
they're
two lines.
They're in a line and they're like, right here, right here. Oh, you got me.
Yeah.
You got me. No?
Yeah, I don't think so.
So you know that Samson's an interesting character though, right? Because he's a hero, right? But his morals are very, very questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
For sure.
He's like sleeping with like prostitutes and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's a very conflicting story to me.
I mean, he also has his first wife and then like...
Just like disses her, right?
Yeah, but then comes back later for more sex.
Yeah. It's a very complicated story to me.
And then her dad says no, and then he kills 300 people.
So he had a temper problem, and he was addicted to sex.
Yeah, for sure.
And he needed to work out more.
He needed to work out.
He was flabby.
Flabby, right.
He's flabby. Flabby Samson.
It's the obvious subtext. Flabby Samson.
He had to have been.
Yeah.
Again, if he was buff, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Yeah, but the whole thing with his wife, like, so what could I tie you up with that would, like, not let you escape? And he's like,
You ever thinking about this? What if she wasn't a looker?
What if?
Yeah, I just want, like, I'm saying if he was flabby.
Yeah.
Right? Was she just plain...
I didn't think if she... I was not considering her attractiveness, actually.
I think it matters, though. Or was this like a... I don't know, man. People do things for different reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm curious because,
she was trying to get paid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or maybe she was the finest thing in all of Philistine.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, look, we got to get rid of this cat.
Yeah.
What an interesting dynamic, though, right? Because they're basically like warring factions.
Yeah.
Right? But they're just like hanging, chilling out.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't get though still is like, so they were like trying to tie him up to catch him, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise they couldn't kill him. But all those times he's asleep, they couldn't just come in and go.
Well, because they weren't there. She was just messing with him.
Then why didn't she do it? If that was the whole objective.
No, because her objective was she had to tell them what his weakness was. She wasn't trying to kill him.
It's like an unnecessary plot point, though. You get what I'm saying? If their goal was to exterminate Samson.
She's just fucking with him. She's like, what can I tie you up with? And then she tests it. She's like, the Philistines are here. And he wakes up, and it's like, oh, they're not here. But also, why did you lie to me?
Dude, it's a complicated story. How about how he goes out? He gets his eyes. Have you got there yet?
Yeah.
His eyes
It's
get
short. It's like 5 pages.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really short. It's 2 chapters.
It's a pretty epic story, though.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the foxes, man.
Actually,
the foxes,
I know,
like, what the
tails.
heck, dude? And this is where I'm very.
And it's like
it's
sort
a
of
confusing
like
story.
pro him, like that fox thing is like kind of like he
well,
has
yeah,
because
he destroyed the Philistines' like wheat supply for the year, right? He put them through fields.
Yeah.
Didn't he, it was more than like 2. He got a bunch of foxes, right?
It's all powers of 3. 15, maybe?
Wait, he tied 3 of them together?
No, there's something like every number in that story is some power of 3.
Oh, well, 3 is like a symbolic number.
Yeah.
Right? That pops up a lot in Christianity.
Not necessarily power of 3, multiple of 3.
Yeah. But that's like the Trinity.
Right.
3 is a big number. 7.
40. Because all of the numbers of people he kills, too, are some multiple of 3.
How many did he kill with the donkey bone? Was that 300?
I think so, yeah.
300. So actually, I remember though when I was younger, I read a translation that was saying that number was totally miscalculated, right? Mm-hmm. And it could have actually meant 30.
Yeah. Maybe.
Which makes a lot more sense than
300. The numbers in the Old Testament are like...
But I mean, I guess I'm going to say this though too. We were talking about beating up 10 guys.
Yeah.
If you can if you could mutilate 30, then what's 300? Like, again,
sure.
There are two single file lines.
What?
Boop, 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 boop.
At no point in each 150 person
Look,
line
Anthony,
are they like,
you're missing the point, though. This guy's
here?
like Superman, and they're like, oh, great, now I have to fight him or I'm going to be humiliated. I'm just going to take it and get it over with.
Why would you... Or I'm going to be humiliated. Well, this is the whole problem with this culture.
Well, I wasn't there. I'm just like observing. How else are you going to get 30 guys? If there had been two single file lines.
Hang on a second.
Maybe someone had a fast pass.
If there was a guy out on your
front.
street on South or... Yeah. Just in the middle of the street, like, I'm going to fight every motherfucker here. Would you be like, now I have to go fight him? Is that what you do? Or would you just stay inside and be like,
is he hurting other people?
That crazy person.
Is he hurting other people?
Well, just lines of guys, or just each hand.
In my...
Would you line up with the guys? If he's like, fuck everyone from North
I wouldn't say I would do that. I think what I would do, though, if there was someone causing public mayhem, I would feel obligated to intercede in some way.
Like,
now,
fellas, relax.
Yeah, I would go HR on it. I would totally go, hey, this all just calm down. You want a latte or something? We should have chamomile. Let's have some chamomile. I don't know what I would do. Maybe I turn on my garden hose. You know, put on the pressurized nozzle. Psst. Maybe I do that.
Like spray them like cats. Get out of here.
Hey, man. Sometimes people just need a shock. You know, just a little.
Yeah, just like in the cartoons, when someone's freaking out, you slap them in the face.
Or you get the seltzer water. You know,
thanks,
you know, like the
like clown. You go out there like Bugs Bunny.
Because this is a concept I've had discussions or disagreements with people over, right? Like if you saw someone else in bodily harm or in the way of harm, right? Like you're driving home and two guys are beating up on one guy. Are you gonna get out of your car and be like, hey, cut that out? Or are you gonna go like, oh, that's bad, keep going, right? Mm-hmm. So the idea of self-preservation versus like societal preservation, right?
Yeah.
Like what is more important, the self or the society? Right? And I think like, so what I'm saying is like with these 30 or 300 guys, right? The sworn enemy of their state, right? Yeah. If they didn't do their part, right? Yeah. Then their allegiance would be in question, right? So if a guy was on my street, right, being crazy, and he's hurting other people, like I think my first instinct would be to call the cops, right? That being said,
you want the state to intervene on your behalf.
Well, I wouldn't see it as that. I would see it as they're sworn peace officers. Like that is their societal responsibility. They've literally signed up to take that job on. Sure. Right?
But they're bringing guns.
I didn't tell them to do that. That's how they decide how to enforce the law. Yeah, well, but what I would also... I don't know if I agree with... Like, guns are tricky, right?
Well, it's just when you call the cops and they're bringing guns.
Yeah, but that being said, like if I know that I can't intercede and make the situation better, and I see other people getting hurt, then I think it's almost it's a woe to not take action, right? And I don't know what I would do. Like if I knew I couldn't take the guy, maybe I'd take the hose. Maybe I'd just try to be annoying as heck. Maybe I'd be like, hey, why don't you come over here and pick on someone your own size? And then I'd lock my gate, run to my house, and yell at him. I'd yell at him long enough to let the other poor saps that decide to fight the guy to get out.
Yeah, right? But if it's like Superman, he can just break down your door.
Oh, man, at that point, it's survival mode.
Him.
No, at that point, I would run. At that point, I would run. Like, I'm a pretty lanky guy. Yeah. You know, my cardio's not great, but like, I can move.
Probably run, yeah.
I got long legs, man. I can move.
Yeah, you're skinny. You can go through the air real zippy.
You know, I just turn sideways, right?
Catch a breeze.
Yeah, I'd pop out my shirt, and then I'd go like a chipmunk, you know, scurry up a wall, and then jump off a fence, and... Yeah. No, maybe not.
So we've been recording for 18 minutes, and nobody knows who you are.
That's good.
Is it? Do you want anybody to know who you are?
Who am I? Who are any of us, Anthony?
Well, you just said who I was. You just gave me away.
Well, it's on your channel. I think they're going to know if they click on your face.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody listens to it, but...
They may someday. My name's Nathan.
There's somebody listening in Iran, or two people listening in Iran.
Oh, man. Dude,
Some people in Chechnya.
Really?
Yeah.
You're saying this seriously? I thought you were joking.
No, I'm not.
Do you translate it, or...?
No.
Oh.
I can just see from the breakdown where people are listening.
I'm just gonna say this, man. If you start putting this into Farsi, you're gonna double your views, right there. Oh, I got
4 people in a row.
I did the wrong thing. I can't. Can you snap both sides?
Well, I used to be able to. Now I can't.
I can't.
Yeah, it would hurt a lot to snap with my left hand.
Maybe it's part of your rehab.
No, I have plenty of rehab stuff.
Do you have to go to the? Do you have an exercise ball?
We're doing this right into microphones, by the way.
Oh,
it's just like.
Oh well, you can edit that out. Sorry, people in where do you say like, Chechnya?
Sure. Yeah.
And where else?
Brazil, a lot of places. Croatia, Netherlands.
That's cool.
UK.
What's up, Croatia? Have I been to Croatia? I was in Croatia.
Really?
Yeah. Wait. Nope. Wait. Dang
that was
it.
a very authoritative no. Nope.
Wait. It's a little blurry.
Yeah.
Because if I was there, it was very short. We drove through it.
Yeah.
Eastern Europe, right?
Yeah.
You're going to edit that part out.
No.
No.
Nope. That's not going to get you fired.
No, it's just going to make people in Croatia upset that I'm not sure where it is.
the one person in Croatia who listened to one podcast.
You know what? I just it's going to make me look very ethnocentric. And I probably am. I think everyone is to varying degrees.
I mean, it sounds like an excuse to make yourself seem more okay, but...
See, I'm trying to save face, and that makes it even worse. Whatever.
So wait, what's ethnocentric?
Ethnocentric?
No. What are you going to say that is ethnocentric?
Oh, that I don't know where every other nation is.
Any of them?
All of them.
What?
Wait, did I say any other nation is?
And then you just said all of them. Like you didn't know where any.
I don't know where. I don't even know where I am right now, man. No, I do. No, I know where I am right now.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, just there's certain countries I don't know where they are. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's probably not good.
I mean, there's definitely countries that I don't know where they are also.
Yeah, but doesn't it feel kind of weird? Like maybe this is me gloating or having a poor perspective, but I feel like most people in the world know where the USA is.
Yeah.
Most people know where California is, even.
Yeah.
I think it's like a fair argument, right? Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's a weird thought to me. Like I remember being a kid and realizing like, oh, I'm in a suburb of Los Angeles.
Right.
And then like, going to downtown LA and be like, yeah, this place is pretty big. It's kind of wow. There's a lot of people. It's crowded, right? And then the first time I traveled and people are like, oh, where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from LA area. Like, oh, you're LA. You know the movie stars, right?
You know the movie stars.
No, seriously. Like I was in Hungary, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, movie stars Poland, the same thing, right? Yeah. I was like, no, not really, man. I'm just like a regular guy there.
Yeah.
I just live there. It was a bizarre experience because I didn't think like, oh, I'm going to Budapest. Now Budapest has a crazy history.
Yeah.
Right? Wars, invasions, all of this, right? A vast history.
Yes.
Complicated history, right? But here I am, this kid from California, and it's like I'm almost a celebrity just because of where I'm from.
Yeah.
It was an odd experience.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's how Samson felt when he was in Philly. Yeah, dude.
In Philly?
In Philly.
Samson in Philly?
Dude, it's a whole YouTube series.
Get a cheesesteak.
It's a whole YouTube series.
Oh my god. I don't think so. I mean, you can make
I'm gonna let
I don't
it brew.
want to put the
I'm gonna give it to Google Studios. Maybe they'll do something with it.
Samson in Philly. Is it about Samson or is it just the name?
No, it's totally him. It's totally him. He's gonna have dreads though.
Mm-hmm. Dreads.
Yeah.
But is he gonna have like a Philly accent?
What's a Philly accent?
I can't do it.
No, you already said it.
I can't do it at all. It's just like these really round O vowels and
like
stuff.
what? Give me one example.
Like no, I can't even do it.
I didn't even hear what?
I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it at all.
I don't even believe you that it exists.
Okay.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of a Philly accent. They have an accent?
Mm-hmm.
I know they have cheesesteaks there. I've heard of that.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of an accent.
You wouldn't eat one. So.
No, I wouldn't. But, like, Boston has an accent.
Mm-hmm. There's a few of them.
A few?
Yeah, of course. Any big city has a few accents. I actually feel like Southern California has the least defined accents of any city that I can think of.
We don't have an accent in Southern California.
Well, okay.
We have
I mean,
we have vernacular.
Everybody has an accent.
No.
So like, so if you think of if you just look up English, the accentless English is spoken in Southern California.
I would argue that.
Why?
Because it's clear.
Well, fine, but it's clear if you're from Scotland, that English is clear to your ear.
Yeah, but I would venture to say
Like, they're not,
they
like,
can understand me more than I can understand them.
Maybe, but that isn't because you don't have an accent.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying I think that Southern California puts the least inflection. Yeah, I feel like the flow of the language.
But
is
that
more...
is inflection. That's like saying
it's a lack of
like
inflection.
saying a bass doesn't play notes because it only plays one at a time.
No, no, because accent is different than playing a note. An accent would be an articulation.
You're thinking about it like a musician.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not how it works with linguistics at all. Everybody speaks with an accent because everybody speaks with intonation. If like accentless English would be like American Sign Language, and even that is said to have accents.
I mean, what if you have a bigger thumb?
Right, but they're dialects of sign language.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just saying, like, if I feel like there's less impurities in Southern California English.
Impurities. I think that's worse than not knowing where Croatia
Thank you. I try to please. Hey, man, you see how many views you have after this, man? You're gonna get hate mail.
Yeah, I hope so.
People are gonna be in a outrage.
Hopefully,
dude.
Outrage.
Samson, man.
Yeah.
Do you think he washed his hair?
I don't know. Did they have shampoo? Like,
dude, they totally did.
They just wash it in the river.
They look. It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't
like
that long
herbal
ago.
essence, Neutrogena.
No, but I'm saying,
Head and Shoulders.
Dude, they had to have soap. They had soap. They figured out soap way before.
They had lye.
They had what?
Lye.
What's lye?
It's like pre-soap soap.
What is that?
It's like what soap was made out of. I don't actually know what it's.
What is it? So the.
I don't know what it is.
When were the Spartans? What era of history was that? Was that like 1000 BC?
The Spartans? I don't know.
I want to say it's like. Man, I wish I was more academic. I feel like I have a lot of ideas and no substance behind them. Anyways.
I want to say like 4,000?
4,000 BC?
3,000 maybe? It was a long time
ago.
So
in this documentary I saw...
I mean, it's pre the writing of the New Testament.
Well, for sure. But I'm wondering in relation to the Old Testament.
Well, I mean the Old Testament. In the Old Testament, from what I was reading, the oldest manuscripts are like 1 to 2,000.
Okay. So it's at least the same era, if not before.
Right.
But this thing about the Spartans... Like they would bathe with water, but then they would take these like sticks and olive oil and scrape their skin, right? So like exfoliate and moisturize at the same time, right? Dude, these guys totally had soap.
But that's not soap.
It's serving the same function. Like soap is to like cleanse or purify or like to renew, right?
Soap isn't really to renew.
What is it to do then?
I think the cleanse and purify maybe.
What type of soap do you use? I use Dr. Bronner. I feel pretty renewed after I use it.
Okay. What type of, like body soap?
It's like, I use it for everything.
I don't use body soap.
Good for you. Most of them are detergents, actually.
I use shampoo.
For everything?
Yeah, but I don't really like wash my arms.
Hygiene, huh?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I take showers, I wash my hair.
Yeah, but you don't wash your arms.
No? Armpits?
You wash your armpits?
Yeah.
That's good.
Stinky stuff. I don't know.
Stinky. Okay, so
wash my mouth.
You give it the sniff test.
Yeah, and then I use lotion on my arms. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Yeah, but I think you use soap.
I don't use soap.
No, but I think Samson did.
Oh.
Maybe your hair would grow longer if you used more soap.
Why do you want my hair to grow longer?
I didn't say I did. Maybe you want it to.
Maybe.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I do, but
maybe you'd be stronger if you grew longer.
Well, I have a problem because I just get embarrassed because it gets to like a bad length.
You
and then I have
gotta
to deal with
you just gotta accept that.
I know, and then it'll be a little better.
And then yeah. You have this awkward phase of like a few weeks to a few months.
I think it's a few months for me.
Does your hair grow slowly?
Kinda.
I feel like mine grows very fast.
That's good.
Maybe not. I have to get more hair because if I want to keep it short.
You have to get more hair?
Cuts.
Oh.
I have to cut my hair more often.
I think I have to get more hair if I want to keep it short. Where are you going to get it?
It's a transplant, man.
Yeah. Don't do that. Okay, so who are you? This is half an hour on this podcast about music, and we haven't even talked about...
we're talking about music. I'm sorry. Okay, music. My name's Nathan. I play the bass.
Nathan what?
Nathan what? Nathan Atwater.
Do you want gigs or not?
I do want... Oh, because I'm going to get him in Croatia. Yeah. From the one listener you have.
Yeah.
He's going to give me a flight aid.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, at least I can work there.
Yeah.
They don't have AB5 in Croatia yet, do they?
What if that's where it's from? What if that's where they got the idea?
No joke. No joke. I don't know if
AB5?
it's... Huh?
But yeah, no joke.
No joke. AB5's no joke. But I was reading online, right? I was actually going through Twitter trying to find out updates. Because I feel like they're saying like, oh, there might be, you know.
But you weren't on Twitter.
I'm not. I just go through it to scroll through it because I've seen people saying like, hey, there's this petition to repeal or add revisions to.
Yeah.
And it's very hard. You know, I use Google to search, and it's very hard to find information at times. And I've actually found it faster just to scroll through. But there's people. New Jersey and New York State are both considering very similar bills right now.
That makes sense.
And through those same feeds, right? And I don't know how to give substance to these claims, right? I haven't actually looked up to see if it's on their legislation or not, but they're claiming also that this is going to become a national agenda within the next few years.
By who?
Well, because like I guess the idea is like, you know, if big states, California, if it holds up here,
yeah,
it's going to be easy to push on the other states, and it's going to become a national issue.
Great, nice.
So.
Some people like it. I don't know.
I guess some people do. I'm curious what it's going to do to the whole scene, right? Like, because I think of it like several ways. If it holds up,
yeah,
right? Well, we're not going to stop playing, right? Or are we?
I don't know. I mean, what is the scene?
Like doing freelance work.
Yeah.
Like, is that going to exist? Like, I've really because I've even considered I can make a company.
It'll go underground. It'll go back to.
That's not going to be possible soon. That's not going to be possible soon.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've been paid.
Well, it wouldn't be possible with a big theater.
Well, but I'm saying in general it's not going to be possible.
Yeah.
I believe that, you know, within our lifetimes, paper currency is going to be an antiquated idea.
Right, and then everything else goes through some traceable source.
Have you been paid?
PayPal,
I was just going to say Venmo. I've been paid for gigs through Venmo.
Yeah.
Right? It's super common, right?
Mm-hmm.
The idea of an underground scene would have to be not only outside of you know, currency, but also outside of like social monitoring.
Yeah.
Right? And at some point in the future, I don't know how that's going to be avoidable.
Oh, like scenes that exist completely outside of the paradigm.
Well, just like I was at an event the other day, right? I was super happy to see people like jam into what we were doing. Right? They're nodding their heads. What's the first thing anyone does now they enjoy something? Oh, I have to remember this forever because my temporary memory doesn't matter. Right? Pull up their camera and start recording. They're not
going to remember it forever because it's so stupid. Well, it's dumb behavior.
But I'm saying to me, as soon as you pull out your device to record, it actually subtracts from the live experience, right? Because it's meant to be temporal. It's meant to be that, right?
Right. But more important to you than the live experience is the reaction you get to it posting it on Instagram.
Oh, that's sad.
But it's super true.
That's why I don't have social media, I guess.
Yeah. So how are people going to hire you from gigs or for gigs from this podcast?
I don't know. I actually...
So like I had Jamie on a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll have to watch.
But he also doesn't have any
he still works, though. You know why? I have a whole theory on this. We've talked about this, I think.
Well, he's really good.
Yeah.
Is that the whole theory?
That's pretty much it.
Oh, yeah. He's awesome.
If you're really good at what you do, that's enough. Yeah. At some point, I really believe this, and I know it's like... I don't mean it to sound offensive to other people because I understand there is legitimacy to advertising and to publications, right? Mm-hmm. At some point, though, Like, you can only put your energy into so many facets.
Right.
And if your whole thing is like, I want to be good at my trade,
Yeah.
then you should invest fully into your trade.
Mm-hmm.
Investing into a social outlet in hopes that you're going to be recognized for that, I almost feel like at some point that's like someone trying to play like a handicap.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Maybe.
At some point, and I know that like I've said this to people,
I agree with what you're saying.
Really mad. I've had people get really mad at me about this and think that I'm.
Damn it, Nathan.
Well, no, they're like, oh, well, you think you're hot stuff, huh? And they take it as if like I think because I've said things as crazy to them.
But
as
I
like,
don't see this as you saying that you're amazing. I see this as you saying that that's where you want to put your focus.
Yeah, well, and I say like if well, no, what did I say that made them upset? I would say things like, well, if I'm not good enough on my own.
Yeah.
For you to call me, I don't think me putting up a picture of my gig is going to get me more gigs. Now,
I think there are lines of gigs where it might.
Mm-hmm.
Where not musical theater gigs, not like the freelance professional gigging musician in LA. I don't think that matters. I think when you're dealing with bookers who need a certain number of tickets sold, your social media presence is crucial because that's the way to sell tickets to events.
Right. No, I can see that.
Like, it matters that 3D Theatricals, the theater company, makes all sorts of teaser videos and blah, 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 so that people are in their mind like, oh, I should go see Shrek.
Right. Yeah, no, I can see that.
Like, they get they sell more tickets because of that rather than just being good.
Sure. So I think that's where, like, there's the contrast, though, of, like, an independent, like, craftsman versus a production company.
Yeah.
At least in my mind, right? But then again, I don't know, man. There's plenty of, like, heavy players, right, that have all sorts of social media presence.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't want to say if it's good or bad or either way, right? I mean, there was a time where I did have it.
Yeah.
A very short period.
That, yeah.
Very short period where I did have I had an Instagram, and did I have a Facebook? I might have had a Facebook. I think I still have it. I just never go on it. I might have a Facebook still.
I don't think I've been able to find you.
Okay, then I probably don't. Then I don't know. Like I literally like it's not part of my life, right?
Right.
There was a short period though where I had Instagram, and I decided to post every gig I did.
Mm-hmm.
What was funny, dude, is like all of a sudden I would get messages or a phone call from someone I hadn't talked to in a while, right? And that's actually like why I knee-jerked. I'm like, I'm done with this, right? Because I'm like, these are some of the same people that maybe they weren't as cordial. And then as soon as I show like, oh, I'm playing a gig, right? Maybe they didn't have a gig that weekend or whatever. So they're like, oh, I'm going to say what's up. That's what it felt like to me.
Interesting.
And I can't say that I can judge all their motives, right?
Yeah.
That'd be too bold on my part.
But you're on a podcast.
What?
You're on a podcast with me right now.
Yeah. So I'm saying I can't judge their intentions.
Right. Yeah. But you are a little, right? Like what you're suspecting.
I have suspicions.
Right.
Well, because I saw
that's part of what turns you off about it, right?
I saw inconsistent behavior.
Yeah.
Right? Like if we were hanging out, right, and one day you're totally mean to me, right? I'd be like, given that I know you, in my mind I'd be like, oh, well, maybe you had a bad day, maybe something happened, right?
Sure.
But then if you got really mad at me and then the next like 5 times you saw me, right, you weren't as friendly towards me, I'd be like, oh, well, maybe I did something upset him, maybe he doesn't like care for my company anymore, whatever it is, right? But then so I'm looking for a pattern, right? And with some of these folks, it would feel like, now it matters that you exist because I see that you're doing this. Yeah. And the entire time, I was still doing gigs. Right. I just didn't publicize them.
Yep.
Right? So, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's like, I don't know. It seemed ingenuine for me to have it at that point because I'm like, okay, if this is more of a social political game, right? That's not really like... I don't feel comfortable operating that way.
Yeah, I agree. It sucks.
It's it's putting on a certain front, or I don't know, man. But I can also say this though too. Like I'm becoming, I think for me, like it's more polarizing now. Right? It's like either you're gonna like the way I play, like my personality, or you're not. And I can't really do much else.
Well, it's because you're becoming a grumpy old man.
I am, dude.
Yeah,
dude. I'm being.
It's what happens.
So much more
I feel
grumpy.
like same. It's the same thing, and like I kind of don't give a shit. Like, I am how I am, and you can go fuck off if you don't like it.
See, I'm not to that point yet.
No, I'm not really. It's just I can feel.
Oh, you are though. You are. You are. Just a little.
Just a little.
Man, I had a guy honk his horn at me today.
Thought you were hot?
No. He was mad because the light changed green and I didn't step on my pedal instantly. It was seriously went like from red to green. Ah! And I was like, what's the delay, man? Like, am I really like?
He's like, oh, I have to get where I'm going.
So
right
I make the
now.
turn. The guy paces me, and then he turns over. He's like,
and you're like, time's ticking, buddy.
dude. Yeah, isn't it funny?
Yeah.
Like he paced me.
Yeah.
He could have gone around, but he waited to shake his head for a longer period of time.
Yep.
See that stuff? Like it's making me like crazy now.
Same, yeah.
And I'm like,
not
what?
that specifically, but stuff.
But you understand the situation, the scenario. It's like you're upset at me for like that infraction of your schedule, and then you like neglect that amount of time to mock me.
Right.
It was like, but I didn't commit.
So you're just an asshole.
I am?
No, him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he is.
100%.
Okay. Just clarify.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying because I didn't go fast enough.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't care about that. It's just like I don't care if people are late. I don't care if
You don't care if people are late?
No.
I was late today. I felt bad about that.
No, it's not something I care about. It like if there's a show, if it's a musical and like it starts at 8, like yeah, you got to be there. But if it's just like a one-on-one thing or just like a get together,
Yeah.
I don't care.
I see.
If the time doesn't matter, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get more road rage also when people are really slow in front of me.
Yeah, well...
It's been getting worse lately. I'm just like, sometimes it's just like, why
See,
are
so
we going 40? It's fucking...
I think what it is because we live in such a congested area,
Yeah.
right? That our time is... We see it a little differently because it takes so much time to plan an errand.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And so it's easier to get frustrated at people. Like, dude, I was at Trader Joe's the other day, and I was just like walking across the parking lot. This lady like lays on her horn because I was like off the curb just a little bit, right? And I turn around, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. So then I go back on the curb.
Wait, you were walking?
Like to my car.
She honked at you when you were walking.
Yeah. Oh, laid her horn on, like, ah! And I turned around, I'm like, this can't be at me. Like, I'm just like walking across.
You're a pedestrian. What the fuck?
Dude. It's okay. It was sweet revenge, man. It all worked out so beautiful.
I just like wave. No.
Well, so I look at her and I give her like you kind of like a questioning like gander, like, I'm sorry?
Yeah.
And then she'll move out of the way, right? And I'm like, okay. So I go back on the curb and she's right? I'm like, we're gonna cross paths again at some point.
Yeah.
Well, sure enough, it was busy. This is why I don't go to the store during normal hours, right? I was there at like 5 o'clock. Never go shopping at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
You get all these people with regular jobs that are just angry about everything all the time.
And then it makes you angry.
Dude, it was so anxious to go shopping. It made me so anxious. Anyways, and then I get to my car. Mm-hmm. Well, guess who is stuck 2 cars behind me? That same lady.
Nice.
She's honking at the person in front of her while I'm trying to back up. So then I'm
Having
just
a rough
stuck
day.
there. Dude, I'm just stuck there. And it's like, well, I can either pull in or just wait here until they back up. And I'm like more than like 80% out of my spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my front bumper is the only thing within the line. I'm like, I'm already out. And I'm like, okay. And I just did I seriously did like a 10-point turn.
Yeah.
I just, right? Dude, she's laying on her horn. It was brilliant.
That's great.
It was so much
Which
fun.
Trader Joe's is this?
This is the one in Bixby.
Trader Joe's. Big. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Off
yeah.
of,
Yep, yeah, I know
what
what
is
you're
that,
talking
Long
about.
Beach, and
Yep,
San Antonio?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just down the street from my place,
Yeah.
So that's where I go.
Yeah.
But anyways, people are annoying.
That's true.
People are good too sometimes.
Yeah. But you're a bass player.
Yes, I am.
And you need gigs.
I do need gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because California has fucked us.
It's a really unfortunate situation. I understand the intention behind AB5,
Yeah.
but how they've gone about it makes no sense. Have you looked at the list of exemptions that there are?
A little bit. Not really.
Okay, so from what I've seen, dog walkers are exempt. private tutors are exempt, right?
Uh-huh.
You know who's not exempt though at this point is, from what I've seen, is photographers,
Right.
journalists, and musicians.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and truckers. We're here in Long Beach. You know, truckers, right?
Well,
There's a lot of independent truckers out there.
Yes, I was reading that there are some, like, maybe they will get exemption soon.
See, I think that the whole bill should be overturned.
Uh-huh.
And
yeah, why have a bad bill and just, like, piece away little things?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So
I mean, that's how laws always go.
I don't know if it's how they always go, is it? I don't know. I feel like
maybe not. Yeah.
I feel like this one it was really poorly constructed. It couldn't have been done worse.
I mean, what is, besides, like, the cynical view of trying to generate more tax revenue and, like, clamp down?
I mean,
on
if I'm going to
industries?
be optimistic and believe that people have good intentions, I think that you could argue that they're
trying to protect workers or something.
You could argue that, right? And there's an argument that this could strengthen unions, which could be good for the average worker, right? I don't know if it's good for everyone, though.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I don't know how I feel about strengthening the musicians union.
Well, they're from what I've gathered, they're the ones that basically said, "Oh, we don't need an exemption because everyone already works as an employee."
Right.
So they're basically stiff arming any non-union work, which I was talking to.
It's great if all the work is union work and there's lots.
Well,
of
that's what I was going to
around.
say.
Yeah.
But I don't see how that's sustainable in our current economic
there's
situation.
like 3 union theaters in like the entire LA area, and it's just like.
And see, what I don't understand is I was talking to someone else about this, and in our discussion we came to the conclusion, wouldn't it have been wonderful if the union would have said, you know what, this is a great time to reconsider our position and maybe restructure a bit, right? And maybe instead of being so exclusive, we try to bring more people in, like change our dues structure, change pay rates for different venues, right? Like how much better would it have been if freelancers would have been welcomed into the union and said, hey, look, you're not doing the major motion picture, right? But you're still keeping the musical culture of Los Angeles and Orange County alive by being here.
Yeah.
Right? You're keeping live music literally in lives of people.
Right.
That's what we want, isn't it?
I don't think it's what they want.
See, that's very disappointing.
They don't act like that.
That's very disappointing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand what interests they're serving at that point.
I mean, wages and protection for a select few people who have certain jobs.
Yeah, that's really disappointing. Because I mean, I'm not the best.
I mean, it's good for those people.
It is, but it's even short-sighted for them because, in my mind, the more work that there is, doesn't that add value to them? Because they're above someone still. You see?
Yeah.
Like there's still hierarchy.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I can understand the idea of having. I can understand the idea of having minimums for yourself, for an industry. Like, there are certain amounts of money that I feel like it's a bad idea for me to accept less than.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Or, like, certain conditions where it's just like, I don't want to work like this, and so I don't want to accept it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can understand doing that with other people to try and make the statement stronger.
Right.
That seems like it makes a lot of sense. But the like shutting out of any availability for anybody new to get any work.
Mm-hmm.
It just that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem like it's going to promote anything positive at all.
No, I don't see how it is. I don't see how it is, and like I would even argue, like if this say that someone thinks that this is like a way of kind of signifying a new societal change in our economic structuring, right, or in our business structuring, right. I could even accept that, like maybe like this idea, like, oh well, you know what, we need to head towards this different path, right? Like maybe there should be more regulations across the board, right? Someone's gonna like present it in that way, right? Like you know what, we shouldn't have anything that's outside of these parameters like happening at all. Like everything should be documented. Everything should have a rules and guidelines, right? Or like safe working conditions for anyone being employed in any situation, for example, right? Maybe that's not a bad idea, right? Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe it's bad. I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, for the sake of argument, even if that was in the most optimistic way, the way that it's been happening has literally been tearing people's lives apart.
Right.
I mean, for me myself, like me, myself, and I. Can I say it that way? Right. You know, in all the ways I perceive myself.
Yeah.
Right. It's been so stressful.
Yeah.
Because now it's not only a factor of am I developed enough in my trade, in my skill set,
right.
to compete against other musicians who are also very good and desire to have the same work that I do. It's, will that work exist?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, well, how do I go about my life then?
Yep.
Right? Because like I've invested a fair amount of time up to this point into trying to get good at this.
Right.
Right? And like I don't really have other skill sets.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say that I could learn other skill sets or trades, but it's a weird thing to be told like I can't do it.
Right.
Especially when in this bill in particular, there's so many exemptions for so many other jobs.
Yeah.
Like if you're a private tutor, like this is what I'm saying. If they're worried about people being taken advantage of, why did private tutors get an exemption? I think it's because, you know, if you go to the like what are these places like Mathnasium? Have you seen these?
Oh,
it's like an academic tutoring.
Right. Yeah.
My understanding is kind of like working for a teaching studio.
Yeah.
They're going to pay the teacher, you know, a third to half of what they're charging per hour and keep the rest as their profit, right? So if we're really talking about protecting workers' rights, right?
Yeah.
Those people are not independent. Like maybe they're independent contractors they can select what hours they work. But when I was at a music studio, I didn't get that option. I actually had to turn down work because they're like, no, you have students. If you can't teach, I'm going to get someone else to teach.
Yeah. No, I
right?
know. I mean,
I was treated like an employee.
Yeah. Same. All of these like music teaching studios where you're a contractor, I feel like they're super exploitative.
Exploitative, yeah.
Yeah, right.
No, they totally are.
Yeah, I hate it. I
had to turn down gigs.
Yeah, same. I mean, I stopped working for them, and like I'm loath to go back to working for companies like that. I hate them.
Yeah, it's not the best situation, so you're familiar with that background.
Yeah.
Why did those people receive an exemption when they're clearly like their function is anything but independent? Right.
I don't know.
Right, and so that's where I'm saying like from what I've been reading and gathering, you know, there's so many appeals in process that it's possible that the whole bill gets overturned, or basically like they say the trucking industry, right? They're probably one of the strongest voices, right? But on that, there's two sides because you have the union truckers that are like, oh heck yeah, because we're just like gonna seize up all the work, we can negotiate higher rates because we're gonna have a monopoly on it, right? And then there's all the independent guys that are like, well, I already like invested $200,000 in buying my truck, right? Like, this is my way of life, right? So you have this clash, but basically, if the independent truckers win, then basically the bill has no legs to stand on.
It's every step of the way is limiting people's personal freedoms. I feel like all of these. Yeah. It's like the libertarian in me is like pulling my hair.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, but that's what's funny too, though. Is this is totally a partisan issue. It seems.
Yeah.
It seems like it is. So I don't understand. I don't understand how it can be. I don't understand how the Democratic Party or the Democratic representatives can be like, oh, this is better for the little man, when it's like, no, you're actually taking the little man's freedom away to some degree, right? Like, I'm a little man.
A huge degree.
Right?
Not
like,
to some degree.
Well, actually, yeah, they're basically saying, like, it's funny, like, some of the churches I work for right now, they're like, oh, you need to be an employee, right?
Okay.
And they're like, actually, we think it's going to be overturned in appeals. It's like, we'll let you know in a few weeks. Oh, you might have to become an employee. Right? And they're just going back and forth.
Yeah.
Right? It's pretty precarious, man.
Yeah.
It's a little, makes me nervous.
I mean, it's stupid. I don't know.
Like, have you...
I'm against the whole thing.
Yeah. Have you talked to anyone that's optimistic about any...
Yes.
Any aspect?
So then the audio company that I work for...
Yeah.
Some of the people who work there are excited about it becoming a company of employees rather than a company of like hundreds of random audio contractors. Okay. I can understand that.
Because they have guaranteed work then.
Right. Well, no, not just guaranteed work, but like if 3D Theatricals had the same orchestra every time, and those were just the employees of 3D Theatricals, and some of the employees were on stage and some of them were in the pit, I could see how a company would like that internally. but it's not good for. I mean, I guess it is. The intention of the bill is to destroy the contractor culture, in a sense.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that.
So everybody who's an independent contractor, of course, doesn't like the bill because it's like, well, we can't have this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have companies, like discrete companies, that are sort of taking care of their people. And we can't have these people sort of weaving in and out.
But see, like, part of the idea of that, of people being employees, is that what they would receive protection and guaranteed work and benefits.
Yeah.
But then how would that apply, like, for the churches I work for? You know, if I'm there 1 day a week for 4 to 5 hours.
Well, if they have enough employees, they'll have to offer certain benefit packages.
Well, but only if you reach a certain number of hours.
Not if they have over 50 employees.
Oh, really?
Well, so they have to offer health care. You don't have to take it because it can be prohibitively expensive.
Oh.
But if a company has over 50 employees, they have to offer health care even to their part-time employees.
Man, it's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you question the intention of all the laws, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. Well, this was the thing is I used to teach actually at a place in Madison, Wisconsin, that was a good teaching studio. We were all employees, and actually that was really good. It was way better than being a contractor like out here.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, so they had like benefit plans, 401ks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't working there enough that it made any sense, and it would have cost me more money than I was making there anyway.
Mm.
But they had to offer those things.
So was that a state law? Or was that just how they chose to
Well,
operate?
so the Affordable Care Act changed the health care.
Okay.
Right. So any company that has over 50 employees.
See, that bill, I think that's
Yep.
really mixed feelings, right? I think like the idea of like what do they call that when you have a severe condition and they can't deny you pre-existing conditions, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. I think that's a really good provision, right? What I do not think is a good idea is that they basically forced everyone into a system where there's no check on the profit margin of these companies.
Right.
Right? They're making so much money.
Yeah.
They're making so much money. Me and my wife are having like, we receive some subsidy, right? From our income. We don't have to pay the full amount. But we're still paying, what is it, 300 and something a month?
Yeah.
And that's less than other people are paying, I hear.
Yeah, some people pay $700, $800 a month.
But what I don't understand, and I mean I know that there's a lot that I don't know, right? I'm not an expert, right? I'm sure that there's expenses to having these institutions, to research, all these facets, right? But I think the idea of like making money off of healthcare, at some point there has to be a balance, right? Because you're exploiting someone else's suffering, right? Like I almost feel different like if people hire a live band, right? In my mind, that's a luxury good.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
That's a privilege.
Yeah.
It's a status symbol.
For sure.
Right? It's a luxury. That's what it is, right? That's not the essence of existence. I guess you could argue to some point, like if I had no music in my life, that's a pretty miserable existence.
Well,
right?
If you didn't and everyone else did, sure. If nobody had music, nobody would care. But
we would still have. I don't know what it still exists.
Anyways.
But you hear what I'm saying, right?
I think that the biggest problem is insurance companies. I think the fact that it is an insurance system, it will always fail no matter who's paying for it.
I think that's also all insurance, isn't it? Like car insurance even.
Yeah, the idea of insurance doesn't make any sense, especially with respect to healthcare. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you have insurance for a regular doctor visit in the first place? That would be like having gas insurance for your car. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like that doesn't make any sense that you would pass that thing onto insurance. Like gas would be extremely expensive and hard to get all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. If you were like paying into a company that was saying like, if you need gas, we'll pay out, and you pay us a little bit. Because then, like, you'd have to say, I need gas. And they'd be like, well, we'll see if you need gas. And, like...
No, you're right. That's a good example.
It's the entire thing doesn't, like, why would healthcare make sense to be like, if you get sick, we'll pay. Everybody's gonna get sick.
Well, everyone's gonna get sick. Everyone's gonna die. Like,
and people like to go to the doctor. Like, going to the doctor, if it's through an insurance system, is treated like a bad thing, or like, it doesn't make sense that standard. How do I put it? That things that you're going to have to do regularly are paid for through insurance.
Right.
And the idea of insurance in the first place, I think, is also, like, highly predatory and unethical.
Oh, it's
like, pay us money,
super predatory,
and hopefully nothing will happen. The best case scenario of insurance is you pay them, and that's it.
Right.
You just lose money for no reason at all. That's the best case scenario.
And this is something that
That's a bad deal.
I still can't understand at this point. If they're saying, oh, it's to cover the cost, right? It's like, I pay out money, and I go to the doctor maybe once a year.
Yeah.
Not even that usually, right? Like I don't see a need to.
Why don't we get rid of the cost? All the costs go up because there's an insurance company, and they all have employees that they have to pay. Blah, 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 blah.
Where does my money go at that point, right? So I'm paying this $300 a month, $400, whatever it is a month.
Yeah.
Right.
So that goes to Blue Cross or whatever.
For what though?
And then you go to the doctor, and then you give them some money too, because Blue Cross doesn't give them all the money.
See, and that's what I can't understand. And then, and this is where the Affordable Care Act, I think, like, again, like, I understand some of the intention behind it, but the implementation is awful.
Yeah.
Right, because there's no incentive for the insurance company to not exploit that situation.
Yeah.
Right, they're like, wait, you have to sign up now?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. We have a bigger customer base.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And it's like, oh, don't worry about the cost. We'll make it more affordable by using tax dollars for it.
Right.
Right?
So it just shoots everything more expensive. Yeah.
I think it'd be better if, like, independence is good. Man, okay, like, my dog had an accident the other day. He injured his leg. It ripped his skin open, got into his muscle tendon. Yeah, his little, like, a carabiner. Like, it got into there, and just, like, it was like a fish hook. It's so sad. Yeah, it sucked. It was awful, right? And, like, I had to, like, pull it out of him. It was an awful experience. All that being said, we actually went to a local hospital,
right.
One that I hadn't gone, an animal hospital, one that I hadn't gone to, but that had been referred to us by people at the dog park. My dog had he got bit by another dog previously, like when he was younger at a dog park. I took him to this chain vet, right? And they're like, oh, we're an affordable vet clinic, this and that. I took him in, and they're like, oh, this is going to be at least $900 because the cut is so deep, and we have to, like, do exploratory surgery to make sure everything's okay, yada, 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 right? $900, and mind you, Anthony, the cut was like this, right? Like that by like this. Like, it was just like a little slice, right?
Kind of deep, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely there, but it was minute. I'm like, well, can't you just, like, stitch him up? It was just like, it looks like a tooth just caught him, right? It's like, I've injured myself more playing as a kid. Yeah. Right? Maybe not. Actually, I don't know. Because that size, you need stitches most of the time. Anyways, something over like an inch, right? You need stitches. I forget what the measurement is. Yeah. Anyways, so this wound was obviously much, much worse. I take him to an independent clinic. They're like, oh, actually, this tear is really bad. It's not just, like, and this time my dog, his wound was like, what is that, like 4 inches? It was across the whole front of his leg, and it was about 3 inches down. The skin just ripped off. Oh, and guy. It was so awful. And then his tendon, the carabiner went into his muscle tendon and actually hooked and pulled that. So they called me when they're about to do the surgery, right? And they're like, oh, actually, we had to add $75 to the bill because we had to, your dog's, like, muscle tendon was torn open. We had to sew that back together. We had to reconstruct his muscle, right? And I'm like, well, what's my bill? And they're like, oh, $700, right? And this was for, and I was like, wait. I went to this other place, and they quoted me a price of, like, at least $900 for a wound that was so much smaller. Yeah, right. Like, minuscule in comparison, right? And I was like, wait, this place is independent. Yeah. They're self-owned. Yeah. Right? Why are they cost so much less? And I'm like, oh, because they don't have this crazy overhead for all this bureaucracy above them for their shareholders or what it be, right? Yeah. I don't know if the other place is publicly traded or not, but I can only imagine, right? Yeah. Someone's invested into this company, you know. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do. Like it's making me really question. It's not just this idea of like, of corporatism, but like if that's a necessarily a good or a bad thing, but what happens when too few people control so much of the finance?
Yeah.
Right? Not saying like people, because I think you should have incentive to work hard, right? And if you have money, you should be able to make good choices with that. But when you use that money to control other people's circumstance, right? Like the healthcare industry, right?
Yeah.
All those companies are publicly traded.
Yep.
That's a bizarre idea to me. It's completely bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to balance, like, if you're researching a new medication, if you come up with a new treatment, you should be rewarded for that, right? In the same breath, why are we spending so much money on cancer research when we know, like, oh, well, actually, if people would exercise and have a good diet, right, those things by themselves will, like, reduce that rate. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I agree. And then, like, there's also this problem that if there were these huge industries, like not healthcare but health industries, I mean there are health industries, gyms and like all sorts of weird diets and all sorts of whatever, like those can also get bloated. And
do you think everything is right now? I feel like everything's oversaturated.
Yeah,
to some degree, right?
Fucking people.
Well, there's a lot of people, but like we have a lot of people, we have a lot of clothes. Like, you ever go to Costco, man? Clothes. Like, clothes. We have. You ever go to Costco?
No.
Have you ever been? You know,
I
the
have
place
been. Yeah.
Dude, they got stacks and stacks, right? And then it's like you go to Target, stacks and
of clothes.
Of clothes.
Yeah.
There's too many clothes, man. We don't need this many clothes.
Is this the main problem?
I'm saying it's a symbol of our excess.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I'm getting to a point.
Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you.
No, you're
there.
Oh, I'm gashed. No, what I'm saying is we have a massive amount of excess, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's not even good excess. It's not like we have quality items, right? Like I'm saying, like, you know, I have to go buy new shirts like pretty much like every year or two.
Yeah.
And like I'm not like doing crazy things to them, but like, you know, the thread just like wears out.
Yeah.
Right?
Really fast, I know.
It's constructed very poorly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with, like, you know, cars. I guess cars last a fair amount of time.
I think cars last a while.
They last a while, right?
Depends on what you buy, but yeah.
That's true. I guess some are better than others, maybe, for durability, right? But I'm just saying, I think we're living in this period of excess, but it's not an excess of like, there's no quality behind it, right? Like the adage, like, they don't make things like they used to. There's actually like merit in that, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's stuff they make better than they used to.
What?
Phones? I don't know. Cell phones.
That's true, but...
Yeah, there's a but. I agree, there's a but.
Like, you remember like the old
school digital
flip phones,
mixers
right?
now are better than they were 20 years ago.
Right, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they... There's advantages to some of that, right? But I would almost argue that's a new product. Like an analog mixer versus a digital mixer, they're basically different products.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, it's like, there's certain vintage gear, right? It's like, no, you want that because of how it was made, right? I guess you can compare it to some new items too, right?
Yeah.
There's just too much stuff, man. There's too much stuff. Like, you go to Guitar Center.
I hate Guitar Center.
How many crappy guitars are there at Guitar Center?
All of them?
Pretty much, right? I don't even think they carry good stuff anymore.
Not really.
Right?
No.
They used to.
Yeah. I mean,
used to have some.
Their top of the line, whatever, are going to be good.
I don't even see top of the line basses when I go.
No, but like...
They would have like one American standard.
You can buy a $3,600 Telecaster from them. That'll be good.
I think there's just too much. There's too many poorly constructed products.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. It bothers me though. Because
Well,
I see it's
cheap
wasteful.
to make.
I know, but it's also cheap to throw away then.
But cheap, according to whose definition of cheap, also. Because like, so there's all these clothes. I kind of need new clothes. You know, like I want to buy new clothes. I don't have a lot of money right now, so like.
Yeah, but then how long does it last you?
As long as I need it to.
I guess, but like you can't. Like I'm saying,
right.
if you're
I know it's this whole problem. I agree.
I have to wear all black for some of my work, right? Dude, I seriously, some of these shirts, they last me maybe a year, right? It's like I wear them like, you know, a couple dozen times, and it's like the collar's all frayed. It's like I don't look professional.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
and I'm like, I can't show up looking.
But it's my whole thing, all my gear. Like, every time I do a gig, I'm, like, embarrassed about my amp and all this stuff.
Right. Do you have a bad amp? I forget.
It's not bad. It's just...
What do you have?
It's a Randall G2.
A Randall?
Yeah. It's fine.
It's like a metal amp.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, it's fine. It does the job. Yeah.
Do you have a 7-string guitar?
No. I used to have a BC Rich Warlock, though.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Wait, were you a
Fucking
metal
like
guy?
a Slayer guitar. That's how I started.
Because I remember we talked about like grunge music one time a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about
You
grunge.
don't like grunge.
I didn't say that.
You did.
Really?
You said that Soundgarden sounded like Creed.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, definitely.
Was it a congregation?
No, it wasn't Soundgarden. It was Nirvana.
No. I like Nirvana. I dig Nirvana.
Who was it?
No. I was.
Oh, no.
I was comparing Creed to Pearl Jam.
No. It was Stone Temple Pilots. Now I remember. It was that. We're going till tomorrow.
Oh yeah, all those guys.
Yeah. And to be fair, I can see the resemblance.
All those
between
guys sound
Creed.
the same to me, somewhat.
Okay.
A little bit. If you're gonna look at the overall accent,
Okay. They all have that molar grinding thing. Yes. But
they have the what thing?
molar grinding.
Molar grinding.
Yeah, grind
molar,
your molars.
like molar
yeah.
teeth.
Yeah,
So you hold
grinding
them
your
together.
molars. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
But I feel like I have to open my jaw to make that sound.
Yeah, I think it's just a term. It's just a technical term of the trade,
Okay.
buddy.
Buddy.
Anyway, yeah, that's like grunge is like my bread and butter. It's just like my music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna start a grunge band?
No. It's dead. I don't
believe that at all.
You don't believe it's dead? What?
I have this theory, man. Because of social media, right?
Yeah.
I can't say it for sure, but I feel like it allows some people. You can basically have whatever opinion or taste you want and connect with someone else that will amplify that position.
Fair. Yeah.
And if you don't like someone, you just don't listen to them or you block them, right? And you can always find someone to support your position, your ideal, your taste, your aesthetic, right? So I actually think that at some point, anything that can be sold to any, as long as a market exists,
Right.
then someone's going to buy it.
Sure, but the idea...
And there's always going to be... there's still ska fans.
Yeah.
Right?
I just like the way that music is disseminated now. Like, the whole, band scenes and stuff.
But that makes it even more viable, I think.
Done.
I think it makes it even more viable because people, you don't have to be signed. You don't want to be signed nowadays.
You don't have to be signed. You don't even have to play live. You don't even have to be a band.
You could literally
just do it yourself. Program it all in Logic with...
Well, I don't think that's very grunge.
No, it's not very great. But what I'm saying is...
Because I think of grunge as like an evolution of punk, right? Is it kind of the same vein? I feel like they have similar...
Nirvana, for sure. But there's the Four Horsemen of grunge. And Nirvana's really a punk band. Alice in Chains is really a metal band. Pearl Jam's really a rock band. And Soundgarden is
You're so
pure
judgmental,
grunge.
Anthony. You and your categories.
Yes. That's fine.
I guess it's your show, so you can have opinions. It's okay.
Anyway, so you see grunge as down the river from punk.
I mean, I guess. I mean, so I'm gonna put out a disclaimer. I'm not a heavy musicologist, right? I can just go from what I hear, right, and the exposure that I've had, which is very minimal.
There's definitely punk in it.
Right. I'm saying there's I'm sure if I talked to someone that was really a fan of the scene, right, obviously you know a lot more about this, about these musics than I do, right? These
but
bands.
you say musics, so you're kind of a musicologist.
Yeah, I totally am. I am, but
yeah.
I'm saying I'm not an expert in that isolated field. I'm totally a musicologist. I think so.
Yeah.
If you ask me to describe qualities of a given genre or describe a band, if I've heard of them, I think I can do that in somewhat of qualitative terms.
Right.
I'm totally capable of that. Right. So that being said, if I think of punk, what do I think of? I think of what's the most cliche that I can think of? Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
Right. And the idea of punk being I don't have to be good at what I'm playing.
Right.
I just have to be. I just have to have a position, and not
attitude.
be a position, attitude. Right, because I think a lot of different things can be punk. I don't think punk is always like having a mohawk or breaking things. Right,
No.
it's just being rebellious or anti-system, anti-establishment. It could be all of that. Right.
I agree. Yeah.
So yeah, I think when I listen to Nirvana, right?
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
so
but this is
prevalent.
the thing about Nirvana as a punk band. But I don't think that you don't have to be good at your instruments is correct as a description of grunge specifically.
I see. Well, I think most of all the bands you listed are more proficient.
I would say that
craft.
Nirvana in that like punk sloppiness for sure.
But they were still better musicians, I think, than like Sex Pistols, from what I've heard.
I mean, the Sex Pistols are good.
Are they?
Yeah. But
what's another punk band that you compare to the Sex Pistols? What else would you put in that category?
Dead Kennedys.
Okay.
They're good. I mean, this is the thing: all these people have skills.
Well, but what are you attributing to skill though? Because you're not seeing skill in technical proficiency.
I mean,
like you compare that to like the previous generation though, where what was it? It was rock and roll before that, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna compare them to like, well, I guess you'd have to compare it to 70s rock. I was gonna say 60s rock because that was a whole different animal.
But I think the skills are different. So I think that punk is very related to 50s rock and roll. So it's like rockabilly riffs and things like that. It's
more visceral also though, right? Just
yeah,
like
but there's specific riffs, there's specific chord progressions that are really, they're not Led Zeppelin. It's
right.
not soloing like that. But like, I don't know, I wouldn't say that I don't know, like Jerry Lee Lewis piano riffs are bad, even if they're like kind of simple blues licks.
Right.
He's a proficient player for sure.
So do you think, maybe it's my own bias then, because when I think of those, I think of Sex Pistols, right? I'm like, these guys are almost making a mockery of trained music.
They are. They absolutely
But
are.
that's also part of their the intent.
But they are good. That's the thing. It's like there's a little bit of like hand waving man behind the curtain. They're better than they are letting on.
You think so?
Yeah. Like Pussy Riot.
Do you know that? Yeah. That's the Russian band, right?
Yeah. They're not even a real band. They're not actually trained musicians at all.
Right.
That's like a whole different. That's like pure punk in a sense.
Yeah.
Like they've never had a lesson on the guitar. They're just because their point has nothing to do with like songwriting, riff writing, anything like that.
So why not just like make a sign?
Well, I don't know it's like. It's a performance art.
I guess so.
But I don't. The Sex Pistols isn't performance art. There is a performative aspect.
I thought they were though. Like the whole because they wanted they weren't anarchists.
Yeah,
maybe they were.
Anarchy in the UK. Anarchy in the UK.
Do they really want that?
I don't know. I don't
know if they really wanted anarchy. Because I mean, some of that seems like it was
most people who say they want anarchy don't really want anarchy.
Like real anarchy would be scared. Because then the whole idea of like the buff guy beating up 10 people, that'd be a real problem, wouldn't it?
If there wasn't the Leviathan of the state to squash him.
Line up, line 1, line 2. Dook, 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 dook.
Right, but the state has tanks, so they can.
Dude, have you? I haven't seen it in the news for a while, but you know, local police departments buying up military equipment. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
They have like the SWAT teams have low key tanks.
Yeah, I think John Oliver did a thing on it.
I think he did.
Like 4 years.
What do you think about that guy? I can't make sense of it all the time. Because I feel like he's making...
Well, he's one of my listeners, so I try and...
Is he?
No, just kidding.
He might be.
Definitely not. 100% not.
Hey, you know what, John, if you are listening, he does look like a bird. You know, he's always making fun of himself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's actually... He's really funny.
I think he's funny. I like his stand-up, and I wish he did more stand-up, and I think...
I've never seen his stand-up. I've only seen his show.
And I think his show can be really funny, and I don't watch it very much.
I feel like his show, though, I have this odd experience because... I watch it on a fairly regular basis. I see most of his episodes, but I always have this this torn feeling because it's like he's talking about these things that, you know, if you look at it with rational and contemplative perspective, right? It should really cause you to be full of turmoil because you realize like, wait, this is gross negligence.
Yeah, right.
and then it's like some little like joke about it, and it's like I can't understand if the point of the show is to make people aware of a situation and say like, oh, we should really think about addressing this, or if it's more of like, this is the world you live in, just accept it, right?
Probably not just accept it.
But you understand my like,
because it
from,
comes
as a viewer,
yeah,
it's kind of weird because I'm like I understand you're trying to like maybe it's like softening the blow, right? But there's nothing like these things aren't jokes, man.
well,
Like I've never seen
on the
a
show they're jokes.
On the show they are, yeah. It's just like every week it's like here's a dose of like sad reality of the world we live in.
But that's what humor is. I feel like that is.
I guess humor is inherently dark, isn't it?
Yeah, or well, the humor that I like, the humor that I think is the best, for sure.
Do you like Mitch Hedberg?
Yes, which is not very dark. I
do.
But
he's hilarious.
I love Mitch Hedberg.
I was just watching him. What was it? The joke? He's like, someone offered me an ice cold beer, and he's like, oh, okay, well maybe I can lick it.
It's just so goofy.
I was like, that's hilarious.
Do you think it's a hippopotamus or just a really cool hippopotamus?
He has so many good ones. He's like, I heard some guys yelling outside my apartment last night, and then they kept yelling, and then they ran away, and I was optimistic. Maybe it's a track and field event. It's so funny.
It's great. It's not really dark at all.
It's not dark.
Yeah.
But he's funny. I'm sorry. I'm digressing.
No, it's perfect. It's fine. So we've done 1 hour and 20.
Wow.
So it's been long. So what do you want? What do you want the people to know about you? You're a bassist?
Yeah, I'm a bassist.
Your name is?
Nathan Atwater.
And
you can find me in Long Beach, California.
Do you want them to know like a way to get a hold of you or not really?
If you want to find me, you can find me.
Yeah, LinkedIn. We did discover that he has 2
But
LinkedIn
I don't
profiles.
remember my password.
Yeah, but
so actually, if you want to get a hold of me, hit up Anthony, and Anthony knows how to get me. I'll give you.
Don't do that.
No. Do it. I'll give you a commission fee, Anthony.
It's illegal.
How's it illegal?
It's like a contract work. I'm gonna have to hire you.
Oh. Kickbacks are illegal now?
I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not.
I hope not.
I have no idea.
What if I buy you a bottle of wine? That doesn't seem illegal.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
I don't know.
Have you been watching the impeachment trials?
No, I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care?
At all.
At all?
No. You're so disappointed.
At all.
No.
No, it's kind of a big deal though. Because it could frame presidential power.
How? What does the impeachment do? Nothing.
Well, how they passed did you hear about the bylaws they passed?
Who?
McConnell.
Okay.
So it had something to do with, when Clinton was being impeached, right? They basically said, like, we're going to hear opening statements, and then if we don't decide after that, then we're going to bring in witnesses and more evidence, right? And he was trying to push for no witnesses, no evidence, just opening statements. Right? And then they, like, compromised to allow whatever the House had.
Right.
Yeah? And so now they're just, like, basically talking back and forth, same points, and it's going to... Dude, I'm scared of what it's going to do to the next election. Because it's just going to galvanize each side.
Yeah,
more.
For sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
And what concerns me is that that's not good for anyone. Galvanized positions.
But none
based
of it's
off
good for anyone. Like no outcome of the impeachment is good for anyone. It's just like it's all bolted. Like they're playing their games and they're like at the expense of right. So because
it's making a mockery of my
bass playing.
No, of my position as an American citizen.
Yeah, sure.
It's mocking it. It's mocking the idea of my freedom.
Sure.
To some degree. It really is. It's like these are the people that were elected to represent a nation of people.
Yeah.
Millions and millions of people.
I mean, that in and of itself is a joke.
What is?
Why are there people elected to represent millions of people?
Man, whatever. I'm just gonna keep playing my bass as long as the state allows me.
Yep.
As long as, thanks, California.
Another couple weeks. Yeah, right.
I'm gonna be retiring in about 3 months.
Yeah.
As soon as my savings run out,
Ooh, it's gonna get rough.
Be working at the Chipotle if I can get a gig.
Yeah, but
Oh my gosh.
have other statements. Anyway, yeah. All right. So where can people find you? Through me?
Through Anthony, or I don't know where else.
Yeah,
I have
he's
an email.
He's an awesome bass player. Do you want to? I can link it if you want, or if you don't want to.
Well, I can just say my email. Just
Yeah.
don't hack me, anyone. I'm sure maybe the guy in Croatia. I don't know if he's a hacker.
Wow, that's racist.
Is it? Croatians were.
Well,
good
let's
at
ask the
computers.
guy in Croatia.
The guy in Croatia.
Well, also we're being sexist. We're assuming it's a guy.
Or, you know what? That's true. But see, I'm still under this pretense that I'll refer to him as the him or the he, including both genders, and I understand that that's not politically correct at this point.
It's also like extremely imperialistic.
It is
the male perspective.
Well, do you know what my last name is? Atwater. Okay, English man. You talk about imperialistic people, right? English. All about that. So are the French. That's the other side that I am. Napoleon. Dude, Waterloo? Wellington? No? Yes?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. So
Nathan Atwater at Gmail.
Yeah,
I have an email.
He's an awesome bass player. We played together in dozens of pits or handfuls of pits. Something.
I don't know if it's dozens. Maybe like a dozen.
7, 6, 5.
I'll have to count.
A dozen seems like a lot.
A dozen seems like a little too many. But
5, I bet, is my guess. Somewhere
maybe if you did you do the reading series too?
No.
Oh,
never
okay,
done
then
this.
never.
No, they don't like me for that.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think there was ever a guitar book though. Now that I think of it.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for doing this.
I'm sorry.
No. Introduced you at the end. I'll make a little introduction for you at the beginning. And the beginning of our conversation just jumps right in.
Dude, Samson.
I love it.
It's complicated.
It's cool. Yeah. All right. Bye. Thanks for listening. Please remember to hit that like button, leave a comment if you have any thoughts, and subscribe to my channel. And remember to visit my Patreon page if you would like to support my content generally. Thanks. Bye.